All right, everyone. Thank you for joining our very first breakout session of gCON this week. We've got a great presentation for you today from Will O'Leary. He's a product expert here at FlashPanel, so he's going to be discussing how you can assess the risk your Google Apps domain may face and how FlashPanel can help surface those risks and as well as mitigate some risk there. So we are giving away some really awesome prizes today for attending this session. So we're giving away a free t-shirt to anyone that attends the session. So there's a great giveaway there. And then we're also going to give away a Samsung Chromebook 2, a Moto 360 smartwatch, and a Nexus 5 to a couple lucky winners for attending this session. So if you're interested in claiming those free giveaways, please stay until the end of the presentation where we will provide the form for you to fill out to become eligible for the giveaways. So like I said, please stay until the end of the presentation to fill out that form. And we're also going to do something a little bit different during this presentation. We're going to handle questions outside of the Hangout. So if you have any questions for Will after this presentation is over, please go to the gCON Google Plus community, and Will hang out after the presentation for about 15 minutes to answer any questions that you might have. So once again, if you have any questions for Will afterwards, please go to the Google Plus community and ask them there. And I think that's it. So Will, if you want to go ahead and get started, we can go ahead on this presentation here.
Yep, thanks, Andrew. So I'm Will. Happy to have the opportunity to speak to everyone today. A little bit about my background. I've been with FlashPanel since April of 2014, and really looking forward to getting into assessing domain health in the realm of FlashPanel today. So at this time, I'm going to open up a screen share, and we'll go through some of the key points for this afternoon. So in just a moment, everyone should see my screen. And Andrew, can you just confirm for me that the screen share is working?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, great. So as you all know, going to be talking about how to assess your Google Apps domain health using FlashPanel. So we're going to go through first. Just want to talk a little bit about who we are for those of you that might be new to FlashPanel and are a little unsure of what we do. FlashPanel is a security and management tool built for organizations of all shapes and sizes. We work with Fortune 500 companies, small businesses, large universities, public and private school districts, nonprofits, really all different types of organizations, not just in the United States, but around the world. Those organizations, of course, being on Google Apps. And the value we provide is really not just to a specific admin, help desk. It's really the entire IT organization, as you see there, from help desk all the way up to that chief infosec officer. So that's kind of who we are, and it's really intended to be a unified suite, not just a point solution. And that's going to kind of kick us off for today. One of the big themes of FlashPanel, one of the things that we do is security and compliance of your Google Apps domain. And what it comes down to is that FlashPanel is going to give you the ability to be proactive about security. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Don't wait for those risks to turn into realities. Get out in front of them. We give you the ability to secure key assets for your organization by setting up Google Drive policies and auditing how documents are shared. Identify any risky third-party apps coming from the web store that have been installed on your domain. Now more than ever, those are at risk for your users and the people in your organization. So we give you the ability to get out in front of those apps and protect yourself before any harm is done. We're also going to give you the ability to gain serious information on your domain using our customizable reporting engine. So that way you can actually drive better decisions in the future and get a good understanding of what users are actually doing in your Google Apps environment. The other big part of our core when it comes to FlashPanel is the ability to manage all of your users in your directory as a whole. And what it boils down to here is that FlashPanel is going to save you time. Everyone that's on this call values his or her time, and FlashPanel, with our bulk management tools from the entire life cycle of a user, is going to give you the ability to do that. So we are a tool that can help with user management, group management, organizational units, deprovisioning. Also gives some handy additional tools into emails, from signatures to email delegation access and monitoring. So that's the kind of other big part of our core, and certainly a huge part of what we're all about. So, kind of getting into today's topic, I think it's important first to decide, how do we actually define domain health? We've got the idea of certainly everyone wants to have a healthy domain, a domain that's running efficiently, but how do we actually measure that? It's very important to set in clear terms what a healthy domain should look like. That's challenging for many reasons, particularly as the task at hand for IT organizations has evolved over time with the increasing move to cloud systems away from on-premise systems. That's of course come with a great deal of increased collaboration. Users can share content with one another very, very freely, both inside and outside the organization. But with that ease of sharing comes certainly great risk. How do you prevent critical data from getting into competitive hands or into the hands of people who aren't supposed to have it? That's certainly a concern for IT professionals to be aware of. Also going to have problems with third-party apps. Mentioned this before. Add-ons and integrated tools, that are great for productivity, and we certainly hope that we're one of those tools is in the universe of great productive third-party apps. But with that comes the risk of apps that mimic productivity, or apps that are intended to steal key information, mine your databases. That's not something that anyone wants, and that's not something you want to wait to have happen to you and to your organization. You want to get out in front of that. So that's certainly a key challenge facing IT professionals today. And tying that all together, it's difficult to evaluate how our domain looks. What are our users doing? How am I doing in going about my job protecting the domain and making sure things are running efficiently and safely? What puts the domain at risk? Are we even aware of the things that could be a challenge for us and things that demand our attention? So those are some of the challenges that I'm sure everyone on this call knows about today. Some of the things that we're certainly going to get into. So some specific risks, particularly as it relates to Google Apps. You might need to know how many documents have been shared with the public. And when I say the public, I do mean everyone. There's a setting within Google Documents that allows you to share a document with the entire world. It can be accessed by a simple Google search, and it's difficult to know, first of all, how many documents your organization has of that setting, and really which ones they are. Are they documents that are they critical documents? Are they unimportant documents? Important to know which those actually are. Reset your passwords on a recurring basis. I need a way to force a password reset every 6 months. My users often like to check remember me on this computer. Maybe they've done that on a public computer, and someone who really isn't supposed to have access to our accounts is able to do that because someone forgot to uncheck that setting. Force a password reset every so often. You're going to have the ability to do that with FlashPanel. Google Plus, very useful tool for obviously for social networking purposes, but many organizations aren't able to leverage it because there's no oversight over what users are saying. Maybe someone's posting harmful content about our organization, and we don't know anything about it. We aren't able to monitor it or notify that user that they're behaving inappropriately. That's certainly a big problem with the Google Apps Suite. Mentioned the third-party apps a little bit. Those apps, when they get installed in your domain, request pretty sensitive access to certain key parts of the domain. Important to be able to audit those and protect those going forward. And talk a little bit about some of the sharing settings. Documents, of course, can be shared with the public. They can also be shared directly to external collaborators. Would hate to have to turn sharing off, which is a key facet of Google Documents and Google Drive. But maybe you'd like to limit exactly which domains can receive that shared content. You need to be able to blacklist or whitelist certain domains. So FlashPanel will also give you the ability to measure the health of your domain, and that's really what we're getting into today. And that's with this proprietary dashboard that we've developed called the Domain Health and Insight Center. So that's essentially what we've developed, and the way that we've done that is by leveraging all of you, is by using feedback from our user base of about 40,000 different domains and admins, people who have real experience working through the challenges of the ecosystem and of that evolving IT paradigm that we kind of talked a bit about. So we have tried to come up with solutions to the most common pain points, the things that people might not necessarily know that they need to know, and to try to give them the ability to actually take action on key items that warrant their attention. So with the Domain Health and Insight Center, you'll first be given a true landing screen that will give you the real risks facing your specific domain. We're not just going to hammer you with key statistics, but we're going to give you information that you need to know about the activity occurring on your domain with this at-a-glance risk view. You also have additional information at your disposal to continue to evolve your practices and running your organization and really make that performance on your domain as efficient as possible. So what you're seeing now is a screen grab of the Domain Health and Insight Center to kind of walk you through some of the pieces. On the left side is the Domain Health check, which based on the different alerts in each section, directory, Drive, Gmail, Google+, beneath that you would see third-party apps as well as Google Sites and calendars. Each of those alerts kind of contributes to that yellow status bar that you're seeing at the very top, which indicates that this is a moderate risk domain right now. And that's based on the alerts you see here. Over to the right, additional resources for your domain, some tips to kind of help you run things more smoothly, maybe some things you didn't know either about Google Apps or about using FlashPanel to better run your Google domain. So I want to break this down a little bit further with that. First, that domain health check. Mentioned it before when we were talking about that yellow status bar. Actually, in this screen grab, you're seeing it's a red status bar. And what that says is that this domain's at critical risk right now, and that's primarily because of that alert that you're seeing in the Drive section, where you have 10 violations of a Drive policy. Most importantly, and kind of taking a step back here, you're actually able to understand how strong, how safe is my domain. You're immediately given a green, yellow, or red health bar up at the top that tells you my domain's running smoothly. My domain has some moderate risks. My domain has some risks that demand my attention right now. So as soon as you log into FlashPanel, you're alerted to the information you need to know and able to take action on the items that warrant your attention right away. So isolating some of the individual alerts that you see in the domain health check, certainly some important ones come up from a security perspective, such as how many documents have been shared with the public on your domain. Sometimes that's a difficult number to gain from Google, or a difficult number to gauge. And that's something that our alerting system is going to give you right on the surface. When you log into FlashPanel, you're going to see exactly how many documents have been shared with the public, or how many documents are in violation of a policy that you created for sharing practices. Do you have any apps that have been installed that warrant your attention, that might be unresolved, or might have a high permission score, which is essentially a method we've designed of identifying if apps are low, medium, or high risk? Are users utilizing their drive space to import movies and audio, files that aren't necessarily critical to have in Drive, but take up a lot of space and can put you up against your usage quota? Another key alert, how many suspended accounts can you deprovision? Many organizations are afraid to delete accounts because that comes with the potential loss of data if you haven't properly transitioned Drive documents, sites and calendars, or other assets that those users might own. However, FlashPanel's deprovisioning workflow allows you to step through that process, ensuring that not only is no content lost, but that you preserve security by preventing a user from accessing his or her account after that person's left the organization. You can quantify those using the key alerts right from the Domain Health and Insight Center. It's also intended to be a customizable landing screen. We're not about this one-size-fits-all home view. The snapshots up at the top of FlashPanel that you'll see allow you to quantify activity on your domain, and you can prioritize them so that you get the metrics you care about. For example, if you care about the number of documents on your domain, the number of public documents, or groups, or sites, or calendars, or at-risk third-party apps on your domain, you can identify all of those that when you log into FlashPanel, that's the data you see, and you can easily quantify the scale of the challenge facing you. Allows you to really stay on top of any security risks and get out in front of them before some of these problems truly become attention grabbing. So with the Domain Health and Insight Center, we've got big plans. This is really only the beginning for what we'll be doing with this dashboard. In the future, some of the things you can expect to see include compromised account alerts. That's based on feedback we've taken from folks like all of you, that users would really like to know, do we have any accounts that could be at risk? I mean, is this someone who is actually part of our organization, or has this account been essentially hacked? As well as customizable alert thresholds. You saw on one of the screen grabs a few pages ago, you were alerted when there were 10 violations of a drive policy. Well, maybe you're not necessarily concerned about the number 10. Maybe you'd like to know when there are 100 violations of a drive policy. Maybe you're a little tighter on security and you want to know if there's even one violation of that sharing policy that you've set up. We'll give you the ability to customize those thresholds so that the alerts you're seeing really relate to what actually concerns you. We'll actually be going forward with those customizations and the different types of alerts that you'll see, continuing to source information from all of you, and we've really found that that's our best resource for developing FlashPanel is leveraging the community of people that we have who utilize the tool. So that's something you can expect to see in the future. When you work with FlashPanel, do want to plug our customer care team a little bit here. Members of that team it's a big part of our organization. We guarantee your success with the tool in that you'll have your own dedicated representative who will ensure that you are hitting your goals in the Google Apps ecosystem. These are people who are administrator certified, Google Apps deployment certified, to ensure that you're actually getting the most out of the tool. This is something that we place a lot of value on, and something we definitely want to publicize here. We offer help through other channels as well, whether it's through web ticketing as well as in-app chat. Connect with our support team that's based right here in New York City. We also provide training and services to continue to enhance your knowledge of FlashPanel as the tool evolves and as our roadmap changes, as well as giving you the ability to leverage our knowledge base and our user community, of which I'm sure many of you are members, articles and other users that you can interface with to get more out of the tool in general. So next, as Andrew mentioned, you can enter to win a Nexus 5 or a Moto 360 here. So please do, sign up for the contests and get yourself some cool technology. Install FlashPanel right at this link, and you'll be started on a 30-day free trial. At which point, if you do nothing with your 30-day trial, you'll essentially be bumped down to our free version. So there's no need to cancel or anything like that. There's no charge that comes with starting up that trial, but gives you about a month to get familiar with some of the capabilities. However, should you actually choose to move forward with a 1-year subscription of FlashPanel, I'd like to offer everyone who's in attendance today 2 free months off of that FlashPanel, or excuse me, 2 free months in addition to your FlashPanel Enterprise subscription by utilizing the code gCON 2014. So again, just to kind of reiterate the difference there, anyone can install FlashPanel if you haven't already to get started on a free 30-day trial. And should you decide to move forward with your own 1-year subscription, you'll have the ability to tack on an additional 2 months and get a 14-month subscription by utilizing the promo code gCON 2014. So if there are any questions, I'm going to stick around for about 15-20 minutes here to answer them in the Google Plus community. So please feel free to chat into me on the community. If you have any questions that occur to you after the fact or after I've left, you can email them to will@bettercloud.com. Pretty simple email right there. So please feel free to reach out to me directly. I really appreciate everyone's time today, and very glad I was able to speak with you. Hope everyone found it to be helpful. So thank you all very much, and Andrew, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Will. Sorry about that. Yeah, like Will mentioned, there's a couple of options that you should see on the right-hand side of your screen there using the Showcase app. So you should see the option to install FlashPanel for free in the Google Apps Marketplace. So if you haven't done that already, please go ahead and give it a try. And if you're interested in winning some of our free giveaways and claiming your free gCON t-shirt, then you can click on the link below that to fill out the very short form to put down your information so we can send you your t-shirt as well as put you in the running for those free giveaways. So that pretty much wraps up this presentation for today, our first breakout session. Like Will mentioned, he's going to be available in the gCON and Google Plus community for about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you have any questions related to FlashPanel, please don't hesitate to go there. If you're not already a member of the community, you can just search for gCON and Google Plus, and it should be one of the first options there. And if you have any questions related to FlashPanel or Google Apps domain security, please enter them in that community there, and we'll be happy to help out. So with that being said, that takes care of the rest of our presentation for today, or for this session. We have one more breakout session this afternoon in 40 minutes, it looks like. We're going to be covering protecting Google Apps data with cloud-to-cloud backup. We'll be joined by Matt Hamlin from Spanning, who's got an awesome presentation for everyone. So that's at 2 o'clock Eastern time. And we're giving away some more awesome giveaways during that presentation as well. So there's a Samsung Chromebook 2 that you'll be able to get, and you'll be eligible to get, and a Xbox One that they're also giving away. So you can register for that session in the right-hand side of your screen in the Showcase app. And with that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope to see all of you again in about 40 minutes. And thanks again, Will, for the great presentation.